CAR T cells are a relatively new treatment that's FDA approved for cancers. So this is a treatment where normal immune cells are modified so that they can identify and kill cancer cells.
Amongst the many, many types of cells that are part of the immune system, one type are called T cells. One of the things that T cells do is to literally recognize when one of our own cells is infected by something and destroy that cell.
Our cancer cells aren't always that much different from our normal cells. Our immune system is just not recognizing these cancer cells as foreign enough to attack them.
So we can take T cells out of the body and we can engineer them to recognize the specific molecules on a particular cancer. And once a T cell recognizes something, it can destroy it.
FDA approvals for these cells are for diseases really of the blood system, so hematologic neoplasms.
Many of them are B cells, which are a different part of the immune system. But when those cells become cancerous, which can happen, these CAR Ts are very effective for those, and many of these patients have actually been cured.
Because of the nature of the illnesses or the similarities in illnesses, CAR T are being investigated in autoimmune diseases for certain diseases like lupus, scleroderma, even multiple sclerosis, and we have active trials for all of those diseases at Yale.
T cells and B cells are part of the adaptive immune system. The B cell produces novel antibodies each time it receives new signals from its T cell. Without the B cell, you'd be unable to adapt to new invaders, new viruses. But what happens with lupus is the immune system learns to cause inflammation to self-proteins and tissues, and this in turn causes organ damage, loss of function, and in some cases can be a life-threatening illness. We need to be in a position where we can have a precision diagnosis and accurate or precision therapies that are effective for the variety of organs that can be involved in lupus.
The idea with the autoimmune diseases is that the cells that we're targeting are actually quite similar to the cells that we are targeting with our CAR T for cancers.
When we use the word autoimmune, it's the immune system has learned to produce inflammation to self-tissue. But once the immune cell is educated, for lack of a better word, against self, the inflammation is hard to turn off or can occur sporadically, and it's difficult to remove that memory. And the idea in CAR T is to try to remove the memory around that autoimmunity.
The CAR T cells are targeted against these cells and they don't really care if the cells are normal or malignant.
So once those cells reach zero, the bone marrow produces new B cells. Those B cells tend, at least in the initial studies, tend to be what we call naive B cells. They seem to have lost a hallmark of autoimmunity.
One of the major appeals to CAR T cells, as opposed to some other forms of immunotherapy, be it in malignancy or autoimmune disease, is that they're quite powerful, and in many cases the effect is lasting. We don't usually give CAR T cells more than once.
I think this is going to be extremely impactful for patients where they're having life-threatening disease and where the 3 or 4 medicines that are currently approved for lupus aren't working for them.
And for most patients, once they have the CAR T cells, there's no other therapy that's prescribed. So there's good biological reasons to think that the CAR T cells could be curing some of these patients.